Okay, today we're learning about Booker T. Washington and how he was important to not just the freed slaves after the Civil War, but even to history. So we're going to start on page number 193, and let's start with our important names. We have one, and it is Booker T. Washington. He was the founder of the Tuskegee Institute. Okay, so institute is just another name for college. He started a college. He was born in 1856 and he died in 1915. Let's go ahead and get started with page 193, the best day of the week. Sunday was the best day of the week for Booker. Booker's family were slaves, and his mother was the cook for the people who owned the farm on which he lived. Every Sunday, the master's wife would give the cook some molasses to take back to her cabin. Dark, sweet molasses. So molasses is kind of like syrup. Booker wished every day would be Sunday. Booker closed his eyes as his mother poured the sweet, sticky syrup on his plate. If I close my eyes, I'll be surprised to find out how much I have. Opening his eyes, he tilted his plate from side to side, making the molasses run all over his plate. "Why do you do that?" asked his older brother John. "'Cause it seems like I have more when it's all over my plate," was the happy reply. Then he began eating his cornbread and molasses. So let's go ahead and go over our important places. These are going to be on questions, tests, and quizzes, so make sure that you're paying attention. The first important place was Malden, West Virginia. This is the town to which Booker's family traveled after the Civil War. So that's Malden, West Virginia. That's where they traveled after the Civil War. The Hampton Institute was the school in Virginia which Booker attended. That means he went to school there. Hampton Institute. Tuskegee, Alabama, is the town which asked for a man to begin a school for black students. So Tuskegee, Alabama, and then, of course, Tuskegee Institute, or University, is the school that was founded or started by Booker T. Washington. The word freedom, we're on page number 194. As Booker wiped the last bit of molasses off his plate, he began thinking. Early that morning, he had awakened and found his mother kneeling beside her sleeping children. "Please, Lord," he had heard her say, "let Lincoln and his armies be successful." Booker was only 5 or 6 years old at that time. He was too little to understand what his mother was praying about. Maybe Mr. Lincoln had something to do with the word freedom. Sometimes he heard other slaves whisper the word freedom to each other. Booker lived in a one-room cabin with his mother, his little sister Mandy, and his older brother John. Booker's stepfather belonged to another owner. He had heard that his stepfather had run away from his owner to join the Union Army. So remember, the Union Army was the Northern Army. Now he was fighting for, what was that word? Freedom. The Civil War lasted for 4 years, and the day soon came when every slave could joyfully shout the word freedom. Mr. Lincoln and his armies had been successful, and they were no longer slaves. They were free. So that's all for this video. We're going to learn about what happens after Booker T. Washington and his family get their freedom from slavery.